What's up, guys? We're back down here at the shop, day 2 of working on the dually. Twig's already investigating what else we got. One of the things we got today, we got our little electric Ryobi pressure washer. It's not much, but it will do the job. We're gonna clean up under the hood. I'm gonna let Twiggy kind of work on that a little bit. Let me switch his camera around to show you. All right, guys, so we've already got kind of a head start. We pulled the battery. We're gonna pull the power steering line, stuff like that for the Hydro Boost. I'm actually not gonna run Hydro Boost. I probably should, but that one's having issues, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put a vacuum booster on it. No big deal. Should be just fine for what we're gonna use the truck for. We're gonna clean up under here a little bit. You can see it's just kind of dirty and nasty from sitting forever. The firewall is not perfect, so we're gonna let Twiggy kind of peg away at that this morning. I'm gonna go look at the motor, see what all that we need to do for that. Probably gonna bust it apart, get it on a stand, and we're also gonna get the MV4500 out. The motor sold in 1 minute on Marketplace, which is kind of neat. Never had that happen before. And the dude called me and told me that it's like perfect on the inside, which is also neat because I probably could have just fixed it pretty easy. But here's a 4-speed. I'm waiting on a guy to let me know if he wants it. So other than that, we're just gonna start pegging away at this thing. So Twiggy's gonna work under the hood of this thing. I'm gonna go mess with the motor a little bit, try to get that transmission out, and yeah, get this thing cleaned up. I don't even know if we're gonna paint it. It's a little bit nasty under here. I don't know if we're gonna paint it. It's really not part of my scope of work here, but you know, we'll just see how it goes. Gonna pull the grill, stuff like that, just a little bit ease of access for stuff. So yeah, stick around. We'll start cleaning up and getting ready to slam an LS in this bad boy. Permanent zip ties. Sick. All right, so story time. We have a giant mess right here, but this right here is the motor that came out of my utility bed, 05 Silverado. So it's actually got the good inside, stuff like that. I had bought a 6.0 that needs cam bearing and stuff like that, one of my buddies had, and I think I'm actually gonna take this thing apart. I'm already kind of prepared for cam bearing, stuff like that. I pulled this out because it was making a little bit of noise, low oil pressure, stuff like that, just kind of little nitpicky things. It was still running really great, like I was daily driving it really good. So I'm actually gonna bust this thing out, see what we've got. I'll pull the heads up. I gotta pull the heads and all that anyways, do lifters and all that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pull this thing out here, may go ahead and clean it up, pull the heads, all that, because I don't really need those heads. But I'll pull them off and pull everything apart, clean it up, and we'll I think we're gonna look at this one. Right there's an old Gem 453 out of my dad's truck. And this is supposed to be a barn find. Let me see if I got it here. Let me see, where's it at? Oh, there it is. The mileage on the truck that it came out of, 55,653. That matched the title. It came from a pull apart LKQ, something like that. And yeah, pretty sweet motor. I'm saving that. That one's gonna go in the red 60, I hope. Fingers crossed. But yeah, so we're gonna pull this thing out here, get it cleaned up, bust it apart, see what it is. If it's too much, at least we'll know. Because I hate to waste a good 6.0. So we're gonna pull this thing out, see what we got. All right, guys, so I got the LS out there on the engine hoist. What I use to clean these things up, I've actually changed up what that I use a little bit. They sell this stuff right here. You can actually see my Dollar General bags right here. LA is totally awesome. Got it from Dollar General. And I'm gonna make some blue Dawn dish soap in it. I'm pretty generous with it because it actually bubbles up and kind of grabs a hold of a lot of that dirt and grime. So what I do is I'm gonna mix this in, and you'll see I usually fill it up to about that line right there with it. Like I said, I'm pretty generous. And then I just mix it up. I don't put any water in it because I don't want to dilute it. I want it to be pretty stout. And this stuff right here, LA is totally awesome. It's pretty legit stuff. I've been using it since I was like a kid. So I'm gonna mix this up, and I had one of these that was already empty, so I just split it in half, a brand new one, and then I fill them both up to about that line with Blue Dawn, mix it up, and I'll actually have both of these clean this motor up, and we'll see how it does. All right, guys, so I'm not covering anything up. I usually tape up all the heads and everything. I get a little concerned about stuff getting in the motor, but this motor, we're just gonna spray it down. Not real worried about it. This is what it looks like when it's mixed up. Got the other one right there on the tailgate. So you can already see getting some of that grime off of it. You know, I'm not gonna focus on trying to keep it out of anything because these heads are going away. The motor's actually relatively clean. The oil pan's coming off too, so I'm not worried about that. You can already see where it's starting to work. This stuff is pretty awesome. Like I said, I've been using it for a long time. Yeah, we'll spray this thing down. So we're gonna let this soak for just a minute. Don't want anything to dry on there because of the aluminum, stuff like that. Just long enough to get the pressure washer rolling good. We'll wash this thing off. Twiggy's still pegging away under the hood. Here it is. Spraying it one more time. Then we'll get Twiggy over there under the hood. And while he's doing that, cleaning that off, I'm gonna start busting this thing apart. Guys, so a little bit more junk over here on this side of the shop. This is my MV 4500, never been cleaned up. I'm about to spray it off. I bought it several years ago for, I don't know, a couple $100. It was kind of a backup for a 4.8 5-speed truck that I had. Got the bell housing for it, got the transmission. So here we go. We're gonna put it on our little rolling cart, and we're gonna get it outside and clean it up real quick. Spray this thing down with our cleaner, see how it cleans up. All right, guys, so I got this motor cleaned up. Got the transmission, yeah, check this out. Got this transmission cleaned up. Holy smokes. It accidentally cleaned up really well. Actually pretty tickled with how it cleaned up. Handle and all, cleaned up like brand new. And Twig left, and I got to spraying on the truck a little bit, and that escalated. And then started cleaning underneath. It looks like a mess right now. I'm gonna clean a lot of that up because I don't need any of that really. All I need is for lights. But I got a lot of that cleaned up. A lot of the old grease off. It's not perfect, but it is better than what it was. So I actually found this motor stand and a cool little detail that I just found out. This is like a replacement starter bolt. And that actually fits into the old bell housing bolts for the back of the block. And for some of these old school engine stands, they're a little bit deeper like that right there. That's gonna be just right. So yeah, little secret. Let's get this thing on an engine stand. Let's bust it apart real quick. I don't have a whole lot more time today. But yeah, we'll get this motor started, bust it apart, see what it needs, and hopefully it's not too much. Let's get it started. All right guys, so I am way further into this than I expected to get today. I've already pulled the oil pan, went ahead and pulled the heads, kind of checked everything. Everything up here looks pretty good so far. So I'm gonna get the balancer off, pull this plate, and that way I can pull off the pickup tube, all that good stuff, and then we'll be pulling the cam out. I've only got a few more minutes before I gotta be somewhere this afternoon, so gonna get as much done as I can. We're just trying to get inside here, so let's check it out. Let's get to it. All right, so I've ran out of time. There's the transmission. Here's the lifters I just pulled. Here's where the motor is right now. Everything actually rotates really nice. I'm actually really impressed. I had to put the oil pan back on just to get it covered so it's not just dripping oil tonight. We're gonna push this over there to the shop and we're gonna try to get back on it tomorrow. We'll see how it goes, but pretty good start on the swap process today. So we'll just keep at it. She'll be in there real soon.